Well, I guess you probably could have called this one here in the Midwest. It's pretty much a tale of extremes, it seems. It either snows like crazy in the winter or it doesn't snow at all, or like we've been dealing with for a while now, about 3 years of drought. Now all of a sudden we're switching back, but instead of just being showers, we're getting into heavy storms. And this is more of the typical Iowa that I know in the spring. We just haven't been like this for a while. So it's pretty volatile. You may have seen on the news, if you don't live around here, that there's some very, very big tornadoes that happened recently. So luckily for me, that was to the west of here just a bit. All of our thoughts are going out to all of those people who have been dealing with those massive storms and a lot of damage. Luckily, the hail that hit yesterday too, in some areas was pretty big around here, but we got marble size, so nothing terrible that we're dealing with there. But I have quite a mess on my hands down here now, and I think it's about time to retire all this mulch, and I'm gonna be trying to figure out some drainage situations down here, as this is all at the bottom of a hill, and everything comes rushing down that hill, and it all moves towards a ditch over here. But the problem is right now it's not very controlled, so I'm gonna have to work on that. This mulch was just basically free. So this was actually all mud down in here until I just put that mulch down. And it's worked out very, very well as a free solution to just covering up the mud and not having to deal with that. But you will see during storms that it does not stay in place, and now it's time to figure out a better solution for all this so I can get this golf green going down here and not have to deal with all of this water situation. The area where I'm planning to probably start the golf green is right in here. And aside from this little low spot that goes right back through here, water comes out of that field right, there's a little bit of a drainage spot right there, and then it starts to turn through here. So I think that we'll be able to make it go along the property line and down to the ditch. But right now there's just one low spot through right here that I just need to fix long term, but I don't think that'll be a big deal. Other than that, everything dried out really well on the green spot. So as far as that being soaked or anything, I don't think that's going to be an issue where I'm planning to put it. A little wet to be doing this, but trying to get this cleaned off so that hopefully it'll dry out after this rain comes through again, and I can keep mowing it because I'm trying to get it a lot lower than it is. So you may be seeing the distance here too. We got more possible coming today, so I'm trying to get through a few of these things quickly. So far we survived the rains, and it's been so dry for the past few years, so we cannot complain about this, but it is soaked up through here in a lot of spots. But I had to get some mowing done today. Probably just gonna have to deal with it being wet. I think there's actually a chance of more rain tonight. We'll see what happens, but I'm just gonna kind of mow through some wet plots today and just do what I can do. Also, the front yard, you could probably see when I was mowing in some of those clips that the trees are actually just starting to leaf out, so everything is slightly behind, I would say. Front yard looks slightly behind to me too. I just put my first app of equalizer on it last week, and then we got all of this rain and everything. It's gonna need some more low doses of fertilizer coming up, I think, just to get it back into shape. Everything has just been really delayed with a lot of cold up until now. So this little drainage area that I made right here actually did work really well, so none of it crossed over and went back into the eventual green area over here. So I think maybe if I just create a bit of a berm on this side here, maybe raise this up a little, I don't think I'll really have problems in the future as long as it forces the water to go around that little berm. Down here though, unfortunately it does go right into this box right now, so I'll have to figure out getting it to move around that part. Lots of muddy stuff down here. And for those following along on the golf green project that I'm hoping to do, I am planning to put it back into this section instead of having it up on the side of that hill. If you saw that video, I just don't think reinventing the wheel and trying to do something that really just doesn't make sense there is going to work so well. So right here, this is already pretty much looking like a green area. And I'm trying to get this mowed down slightly lower right now just to get a sense of what it will look like and feel like from up at the hill. But my plan is to move that shipping container and probably face it this direction, possibly that one, or maybe I will end up selling that and get a smaller one or something. I haven't decided that part yet. But all this stuff will get cleaned out, and that'll allow me to put some equipment still in there, but also probably use it as a little entertainment area while people are golfing over here on the green and stuff. There can be people over there, maybe have a little fire pit and something. So if I do keep that one, it will obviously have to get repainted and refinished and all that. The plan is though, once I change the direction of that shipping container, I should be able to extend the green more centered into this plot area, and it'll be easier to hit from the top of the hill up there too, if it's not so tight over into this section. But lots of work to do with that though. I wish that I could just snap my fingers and have it done, because I would love to be out here playing already instead of just planning, but that's just how things work. For those paying attention to my other ryegrass project going down over here, which is to see how low I can mow it, heavy rain actually did a fantastic job of washing in all of that sand and putting it in some of the lower spots. Hopefully some of that seed that I overseeded will come up as well, but right now it's looking a lot better already as far as levelness. Mowing this big area up here at 1.25 inches on this ryegrass, and for being a rotary mower at a 0 turn, I think that this is a fantastic quality of cut that I'm getting out of that Exmark. Real mower's obviously going to give you the cut that you want, but cutting that low on rotary is pretty difficult, so I'm glad that one, I spent a lot of time getting this as smooth as I did, but right now I'm pretty happy with being able to fly through this with a 0 turn and get it mowed fairly quickly, but have the quality of cut that I'm getting out of that. But if you look really closely, there's a few things going on up here. I did a lot to disturb this soil when I seeded this last September, and so I knew that it was likely probably not going to be completely clean, but I had some form of, I believe, brome grass come up in here. If I'm looking at what I think it is, it would be a winter annual. But now that I've been mowing this every other day, just keeping up with it, cutting off little bit by little bit, it's not looking too happy with what I'm doing with that. So I'm hoping long term I can continue to mow and mow and mow and see if I can damage that enough that it will allow the ryegrass to really come in and thicken up, and that you won't notice it too much. As far as selective control of that, it's very unlikely that I'm going to find something that I can do that will get rid of this without harming what grass I have here. and I really don't want to start this over. So at this point, I'm just gonna try to continue to mow it, try to see what happens when the heat comes of the summer. Likely do an overseed of this whole area in the fall, maybe drill in an overseed with some more ryegrass, thicken it all up, and see what we can do in the future. Obviously, I'm a little bit bummed that it's not 100% clean in here, but keeping it mowed and keeping it looking nice and clean. Definitely happy though with the golf look over here and playability, so hopefully we can get that cleaned up in the future. So more rain last night, just another just about 4/10 here. Just a little update as the pond continues to grow here. So we had a little landscape project that we just wanted to finish here and start working on some of this stuff down by all the grass that I have now. We're focusing a little bit more on some other projects. Trying to clean up the area, do some nice landscape stuff. These will all be ornamental grasses that'll get probably about 4 feet high. So this will all look different obviously as it grows in, but I just wanted a border there along the driveway to kind of set off this area from the rest of it. Funny story is I was talking to one of my friends that lives around here. I was telling him about this rock border that I wanted to do, and he was like, oh, no problem, I got the rock for that.
That's pretty cool.
So nothing like, I guess I would say, a locally sourced product there. I'm very happy with the way that that turned out, nice and clean there, just as a border coming into the property. We have some more stuff to do around some different areas of the plots when things finally dry out here coming up, maybe, we'll see. Thanks so much for following along with what's going on here. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.